Welcome back once again to Division 2 here in Zoom Racing League. A little bit of a rough grid tonight. We have a few people who have decided to, just not show up, so that's on them. But we are into qualifying here at Zandvoort. We have Spanini and I believe Chubb Tucker, one of the first few on a lap here. Hop on board with Spanini. As Spanini pushes into turn 3 for the first time tonight. See a Red Bull there taking a high line. We've noticed that if you go too low there through turn 3, through that super bank corner, things can get really, really bumpy. And I think this is one of the few tracks where you basically guarantee to have some of that old-fashioned porpoising as you go through the final corner. So very, very aggressive there for Spanini as he goes through turn 7 and 8. Maybe a little understeer there for him, excuse me, as he goes through the Vodafone Bocht. And yeah, yesterday, Team Telemetry shows turn 1 as Tazen Bocht, but it is actually, as Anand Trivedi pointed out yesterday during the broadcast, is actually Tarzan Bocht. So the lovely people who make this application for our telemetry making a little bit of an error there. Spanini setting a 9.3, so really quick onto that. Yesterday we saw Marcel, I believe, do an 8.2 or an 8.4. One of those two. Spanini really slow here, letting a couple of cars through here. But at 9.3 for Spanini. If we have Jeff pushing, well, would have Jeff, but I pressed the wrong button. Here's Jeff as he pushes into the Audi S. He's completely missing that apex. Jeff, the team principal of Red Bull, likely would prefer to have his driver driving tonight, but his driver is too busy playing other games. So let's see what kind of pace Jeff can do. Jeff, generally we're driving with no assists, but not very practiced with this game. So a 13.1 for Jeff. Solid starting point for him. Hopefully he can kind of push himself into the 11s before the session is over. Championship leader right now, Nadewell, putting in 9.7 as his first quality time here. Go ahead and bring up our standings for Division 2 so far. Nadewell holding that championship lead right now over combined by 5 points. Spanini missing last week, putting him in a pretty big hole. So with a DNF from Nade tonight and a W from Spanini, that would put him into the championship lead by a single point. Excuse me. Chonk still in that battle. Rigraff is also in that battle too. Man of the box who missed Japan a couple weeks back. Still technically in the fight, but a ways to go to catch up with Nade here. Nade, who's had a little bit of unluckiness through the first part of this season. And then Peter Giordano, who would be likely running away with the championship, having to head back to school in the UK before being able to finish the season. So hop back on board over here. Let's get a look at our forecast right now, if this thing will work. That's tire wear. There's our forecast. Looking like it might be a little cloudy during the end of qualifying, but it does not appear to have any chance for rain for this session. So one thing we've seen from Nadewell a couple of times so far this season is he likes to push a second time on the same set of tires to potentially save a set at the end of the race. So Nadewell is pushing again here, but he is up on his time. Excuse me. We have Combined, who is also pushing here. No, excuse me, that is Combined on his in-lap here. So currently, looking at the leaderboard here, Spanini currently holds the fastest first two sectors with his very quick opening time here, but Combined actually has a slightly quicker third sector. So a lot of potential time in there for Combined if he can nail those first two sectors. And we have Chonk here potentially pushing. Chonk running into a bit of traffic there as he heads up the hill. Turn 5 and 6. Chonk setting a solid first sector, about a 10th off of where Spanini is. A little understeer for Chonk as he goes through turn 9. Not quite hooking up the apex there. Driving into the gravel. Chonk now about 3/10 a bit slower, so he's about 4/10 behind where Spanini is. So let's see what he does with this first lap. Let's take a look. Is he using used tires? We can actually pull that up, and he is. So 10% on that front left for Chonk. But with that used tire, he is able to put himself into P3. So we have about 10.5 minutes to go in the session before we call it. Looks like Nadewell's pushing again on ancient tires again. So he is pushing, I believe this will be his third push lap on this set of tires. Big lockup as he goes into turn 3. We did see a lot of success from people yesterday running a soft tire, whereas most other tracks this season with this game, the soft tire is pretty much unusable. As the tire deck is just way too high. Again, Nadewell, like Chonk and Spanini before, not hooking up that apex exactly through that, but that may actually be the racing line. So let's follow Nadewell as he heads towards the line here, just a little bit off of Spanini's fastest middle sector. Man in the box actually jumping in front of him with a 9.5. So man in the box looking nice and spicy so far this season. Man in the box also setting the fastest purple sector. Nadewell jumping back in front of him with no fastest sectors. So that's a really nice lap from Nadewell. See if Roldy here is pushing as he goes through the Audi S here. Drop the tire wear off there for us. And it looks like he is in deep. Nope, looks like, yeah, he's pushing. Oh no, this has to be an in lap. He has to be pushing, yeah. His times are quite slow there. Up on board here with our Haas reserve here. Mr. Rensler looks like he is pushing as he goes through turn 7 here. Rensler's shown some really nice pace in the several times he's reserved with us this season. I think he has been offered a couple of seats, but I don't think he speaks English very well, if at all. So he has been hesitant. I think he's hesitant to react or to reply when he is reached out to by team principals. So 10.4 again, and he improves his time, but does not improve his position. So he's still sitting there in P8. Jeff here in P13 is pushing. He's about almost 3/10 up on his time. Still a lot of time left to improve any position. Actually, there we go, a second up on his time. So he's looking to break into the 11s here. Very wide corner entry there as he goes through turn 11. A little hesitant there on the steering and throttle as he goes through the final couple of corners. He should put himself 11.7, so a nice improvement of a 1.5 for Jeff, but still remains in last place. Let's see if we can find someone else pushing. I believe we have Spanini here pushing into the Audi S, actually up on his time by about 2/10, I believe. Big snap of oversteer as he heads into the turn 12 and 13. You can see that porpoising there. Lots of bouncing. So Spanini heading into the pits, not able to improve his time on his second push lap. Still a lot of time left. We have Rigraff here pushing, who put himself into P4, so jumping Chonk and combined. Rigraff right now is on his in lap. Seems to be a very common thing to sit on your battery while you're heading back into the pits. Doesn't look like anyone is currently pushing at the moment. We have Man in the Box and Chonk, and Kagenis and Slick Goku looking to start another push attempt here. So Kagenis will be the first one of those. This will be Chonk, and then Kagenis will be the first one to push there. So Chonk invalidating his outlap there, but now he is valid, dumping his entire battery, heading into turn 1. Completely missing the apex, but that is a very common line. Let's see what line he chooses as he goes through turn 3, a very middle line. Avoid that bumpiness at the very bottom. Very laggy, must be from myself or from Chonk. Chonk, previously known as the Lag King, was able to improve his lag towards the end of last season. Give a lift there for Chonk. And really, just completely missing the corner there at turn 8. We'll see. He has a couple corners here, and then he will be at the Sector 3 line. So let's see what his delta currently sits at. He is about 3/10 behind on his time. Again, it's coming behind him. Like Chonk is slowing down. Actually, no, it's a Haas off the track. It's like getting out of the way of, looks like Roldy pushing well behind on the track. And Kagenis invalidates his attempt and goes flying into the wall. I'd imagine he's sitting there with little damage, and he is. So he's going to have to go in, get that front wing swapped out. Let's see, Slick Goku pushing down towards the nest. Not a push. He has a lot of battery here, so I believe he's just doing... No, he is pushing. There's no way he's pushing, right? With 100% battery. So Slick Goku doing the 2 outlap attempt here, or is this... Or was that actually... Looks like he's actually going to improve on his time without using any batteries. So it does improve his time, but a lot of battery here, so I imagine he will be pushing again. Yeah, he's on his battery here, so definitely 2 outlaps there, but very impressive from Slick Goku beating his previous quickest time without using much battery. So let's see again as we head up the hill towards turn 5. A little bit of a lift through turn 6. One thing is a lot of people have been basically going flat through turn 7 here. Slick Goku with the slightest lifts, just afraid of understeering off the track there. Very wide entry there for Slick Goku as he heads down this DRS straight towards the Audi S. Missing the apex a little bit. We've seen people take a lot of curb at that apex of turn 10. Slick Goku missing, but with this amount of battery he's actually dumping this lap, I'd imagine this is going to be a significant improvement for him. So maybe we're looking at in the low 10s here. Let's see. 10.5, so a 3/10 improvement for Slick Goku on his push lap there with 3 minutes to go. He may not have time to go around and get some new boots. We have Roldy here up the hill. Looks like he is actually he is not pushing right now. I believe he's on his in lap here, so with 3 minutes to go, it's going to be tight. Unless he plans to go again, but I don't think he actually has enough fuel. Just about 1 lap of fuel there. On his dash. Rensler going in front of him, just completing his probably likely final push attempt here. So it looks like Kiwi and Jeff will be our first ones to start their final push attempt here. Roldy unlikely to have enough fuel to go again. And Slick Goku, definitely not enough fuel to go again, so he'll be going into the pits here. It's like Rensler. That's just about 1 lap of fuel left. Looks like he's on his way back into the pits as well, so that'll do it for their qualifying. And as we see there on the map, Roldy retiring as he goes into the pits. We have Jeff and Kiwi. Jeff, the first one of our final pushers here, look to improve his time. Very conservative as he goes into turn 3 there. Just afraid the car is going to snap on him if he uses too much power. Huge lift and a downshift from Jeff there, so unlikely to set a competitive time here as he also misses the next apex. But let's see if he can improve, as he is well in front of most of the runners here, with the exception of Kiwi. Running up to the Sector 3 line. Is he up on his time? Nope, he's about even. So, very conservative as he goes through turn 10 there. A little lazy on the power there. Solid line through the final two corners, but he will run out of battery before he gets back to the line. Let's see, will he maybe have a 10th or 2 improvement on his time? No, he actually finishes behind his previous set time, but Kiwi following him through the final two corners here. Kiwi kind of blowing the apex there on those final two corners. Let's see where Kiwi finishes. 10.0, so Kiwi moving up a couple of positions there, with a lot of people left to set their time. Madewell here pushing through turn 3. Spanini pushing towards turn 9 here. Alpine giving some very high-pitched turbo noises there. Let's see where Spanini is on his delta as he enters Sector 3 for the final time tonight. He is even on his time, so unlikely to have any improvement for Spanini. Let's see Nadewell. Man in the box actually pushing right in front of Nadewell. We missed him. He's a little bit up on his time there, but let's see Nadewell a little bit more up on his time. So looking like Nadewell has a shot here for maybe pole. Spanini not improving his time. Man in the box going through the final couple of corners here with a small improvement on his delta as he started the third sector. So man in the box improving slightly, jumping Nadewell. Nadewell behind him, improving even more and just behind Spanini. So Spanini holds on to his pole position. And Kiwi runs it into the pits there. And Chubb Tucker, I think, is the final one here to put on their push lap. And Chubb Tucker barely beating his own time, not improving his position there. So Chubb Tucker will start down in P10. Pole will be held by Mr. Punetti here. Spanini with Nadewell and man in the box close behind. So now, like I said earlier, it'll be interesting to see what everyone does with their tire strategies. As yesterday we saw a lot of different things. We saw a few people run hards, but they inevitably got cooked by anyone who did not decide to run hards. It seemed like the ideal strategy may actually have been an alternate strategy of a medium soft. So it'll be fun to see what everyone here decides to do after seeing what we saw last night. So again, there is Panini on pole for that Alpine, followed by Nadewell in the Williams, man in the box in the Haas, Regraph in that Aston Martin, and then combined in Chonk in their Mercedes. Right, so again, we are in no park for my league at the current moment. So what that means is everyone can change their setups between the sessions. Give the host about 90 seconds and ask everyone not to ready up, and then not to ready up until Spanini, our host, has determined 90 seconds have passed. Move with that, but we'll pull up our forecast here for the race. And actually, got some stuff falls behind me. I don't think it'll actually show us an updated forecast if I pull it up. No, it's still, no, that is the forecast for the race. So yes, that is what we're looking at. Little partly cloudy through the entire race. No chance of rain. That is that for the weather. All right. So that should be enough time if Spanini is happened to be listening to the stream. And there we go. We are now on the grid with Spanini and Nadewell on that front row, followed by Man in the Box and Rigraff. Looks like a really nice start from Nadewell. Hard to tell there. Nadewell actually on the medium tires, as we see there. Actually, doesn't look like he's actually in the lobby. So Nadewell falling down the order as his car is ghost. It looks like an AI is driving. So Spanini, Man in the Box, and Rigraff. Take us through the start of this race. Nadewell. So everyone in the top 6 right now, with the exception of Nadewell. I'm assuming he didn't actually choose his strategy if he's not driving his car right now. Looks like we have Kagenis off of the track back here on the exit of turn 9. So he'll have to get back on the track. Rensler, the only one going for the hards right now, may cause him some issues here at the start of this race. As we saw yesterday, the hards just did not have a lot of pace compared to other tires here. So DRS is now enabled. Man in the Box and Rigraff sticking with Spanini for now. Nadewell is still out of the session or out of his car. One of the two. We already kind of see a bit of a gap here forming between our medium and soft runners. Kagenis struggling to get back on the track here. A little bit of front wing damage. We'll pull up our tire performance thing, which also shows us wing damage. So Kagenis with some wing damage there. So he will likely be lapped before he even gets going in this race. Roldy on these mediums. Jeff actually passing Nadewell, as Nadewell's still not in his car. So hopefully he can get back in his car relatively soon. Chubb Tucker setting the fastest lap down in P7. So Chubb Tucker showing some nice early pace right now as we move into lap 3 of 36. Roldy now 2 seconds behind the soft runners. Excuse me. Here's Nadewell has crashed a couple of times, trying to get back into the game. Again, it's having to pit with that broken wing. But here at the front, we still have a nice little train from P1 to P7. Looks like someone's off the track. Looks like Roldy potentially off the track. Looks like he's missing part of his front wing. We'll confirm that there with our overlay, and he is indeed missing part of that front wing. So he will also have to pit along with Kagenis to get that thing repaired. Back up here towards the front, though. Man in the Box taking the lead of the race from Spanini with the help of that DRS. So now the big thing we saw from last night for a lot of these soft runners. Pull up our tire wear delta here. Kagenis off the track again, about to be lapped here by the front half of our field. But the big thing we'll see is tire wear. Fred yesterday in the Haas showing some insane tire wear compared to most of the field. Man in the Box in the Haas, will it be running the same setup or having the same issue? Actually, probably not. Spanini is the one with the excessive tire wear right now. We pull up this tire wear graph. Yeah, Spanini, Rigraff only 13% on his front left. So Rigraff doing a good job of saving his tires, whereas Spanini, 26% for Spanini. The only person so far in the race over 20%. He may be close to 30%, if not over, by the time everyone else catches up to that 20% mark. So that'll be something to keep an eye on for Spanini, as he's already almost 8/10 down behind man of the box. Looks like Spanini has that Fred tire wear virus. So far, so good for all of these soft runners in the top 7, from man of the box down to Chubb Tucker. We are looking at a nice little DRS train. Looks like Nadewell is finally back in his car, but now he is 12 seconds off of the lead. And on arguably slower tires, there's Kagenis again, causing a full safety car. So Kagenis with heavily struggling tonight. No front wing at all this time. A full safety car being caused is a bit of a surprise. We will see. I would imagine Spanini will get off of these soft tires, put on a couple of mediums, or a set of mediums, and then go to another set of mediums. With a full safety car, that gives Nadewell an opportunity to race himself back up to the front, and also gives everyone else a chance to maybe do some tire shenanigans tonight, and maybe change their fortunes. So let's see. Right on board here with man in the box, and see who elects to pit. So man in the box going in, Spanini staying out, Rigraff staying out, Combine going in, Chonk staying out. It's like Kiwi stayed out also. So some big decisions there for our guys. Slick Goku moving up into P5. Combine and Chubb Tucker going on to hard tires. A bit questionable, I believe, with how we're at in the race, but they may actually be able to We'll see. We'll see how this goes. It did look like the medium tires could do quite a bit of the race yesterday, depending on the setup. So, man in the box, Jeff and Roldy electing to go all the way to the end, potentially on medium tires, whereas Combine and Chubb Tucker electing to go to hards. That leaves us with, it looks like, I can count correctly, 7 people deciding not to pit. Chonk likely unable to choose as his teammate was in front of him. So Spanini, again, was showing some excessive tire wear. If we compare him to Rigraff, Spanini showing 29% on that front left, 18 on that left or rear left. And we hop on board with Rigraff. We'll see 16 and 12. So a big tire difference between the two of them. So potentially a questionable call from Spanini, but we will see how this pays off for him. So Nadewell is at the back of our non-pitters here, electing to stay out, get track position, and likely wind up going long here. The safety car actually helping out these medium runners with the idea of stretching their stint to the soft tires. But with these guys behind him who have already pit, it'll be difficult to close that gap and cover off an entire second pit stop. With the tire difference at the end of the race between these old mediums and fresh softs, they may actually be able to do it. So as a safety car, heads through lap 7. Looks like our field is bunched up now. So I would imagine we will be going in on this lap. A little bit of a tire difference here. Let's take a look at Nadewell versus Slick Goku, as they're the only ones still. That's the wrong key. Tire. Look at Slick Goku. So Slick Goku only 9% compared to Nadewell's 16%. So it's difficult to judge if that's a pure Nadewell setup difference, or because the AI did drive a few laps for Nadewell at the start, as he did report a couple of game crashes as he was trying to join, or as the race started. So the safety car is now in. Spanini will lead us around the final corner to restart this race. Looks like he is on the power and he is going. But Rigraff here with a nice run on him, using a lot of battery. Will Rigraff make a move on Spanini going to turn 1? No, he's too far back. But Chonk actually going around the outside of Rigraff as he head towards turn 2. Chonk still there as they head towards turn 3, and Chonk now in front of Rigraff. This gives Spanini an opportunity to kind of run away, maybe build a bit of a gap between these two as they continue to go side by side as we head up the hill towards turn 5. Our lovely F124 UI still showing safety car, but we are green flags now. And Chonk getting that position done. Spanini not able to build too much of a gap yet. Back here, Nadewell looking to get in front of Rensler here with man in the box right behind him. So man in the box likely the quickest person on the track with these fresh medium tires. But one issue with this track, there's not a lot of space to try to go for overtakes outside of turn 1. So you see Slick Goku in front of Rensler here, already losing the train of those soft runners. So we will have DRS on this lap, but not on this straight. So Nadewell wasting no time, going for the move there on Rensler, going down the inside. Looks like at the same time we had Roldy going for a move there on Chub Tucker. So we have our strategy here a little bit mixed up. We have Rensler falling down the order on these hard tires. Combined in front of Roldy here, but combined over outside of that DRS window to Roldy at the moment. Hop back up here on this order as we hop with Nadewell. Big snap of oversteer, losing a lot of time to Slick Goku. Maybe looking for a move there. Now man in the box going down the inside of Nadewell, going to the Audi S, and then bumping wheels as we go through turn 11. Looks like man in the box will come out on top, but with no, he's still inside that 1 second delta to Slick Goku. So he will have DRS. So Nadewell losing out on a position there because of a look like a driver error at the front. Chonk and Spanini going at it into turn 1. Still, we are green flags. The safety car banner there is not accurate. Chub Tucker actually being overtaken by Jeff back here in a battle for the back. Those hard tires not working out all that well for Chub Tucker. Oh, actually, what happened to Jeff? He just disappeared, so he went on the exit of turn 3 and lost it. Just didn't see him come back up the hill, so unlucky there for Jeff. So as we head, let's see here. So looking at this tire wear, again, Chonk at 33%, Spanini showing 43%. So how much longer will Spanini be able to push these tires? Actually, 43% isn't really that bad, so likely be able to push those tires as long as he needs to. That safety car giving him likely a little bit of an edge. Bind here trying to get around Rensler. Rensler showing enough pace to keep him behind for now. Spanini retaking the lead from Chonk there. Rigraff going defensive to protect from any kind of move from Kiwi. These guys moving further and further away from the next train, currently led by Man in the Box, as he was able to get by Slick Goku going to turn 1 on this lap. It's like Nadewell very, very pacey right now relative to Slick Goku. Looks like he's trying to make a move, otherwise they're going to lose Man in the Box in front of him. Whoa! So we hop on board with Nadewell there, and he goes right into the wall. So I imagine that is another wheel issue for Nadewell. So that brings him basically out of contention for any kind of solid result. So that, very painful to watch. As the Williams team principals, Nadewell now falls down to the back of the order. No safety car caused here. We're showing yellow flag that Nadewell is still stuck. Trying to get back on track here. So Chonk a little too far back to try to take the position from Spanini here. With Nadewell out of this fight with Man in the Box now. That's a lot of clean air to catch up with these guys. Man in the Box is showing better pace than everyone on the grid right now. So unless we get another safety car, it's very possible Man in the Box drives away and wins this race by a mile, as the guys in front of him, who he's catching, have yet to pit. Nadewell pitting back here. Some action happening here between Rensler combined and Roldy. Chubb Tucker getting in front of Spanini. Actually, what happened to Spanini? Spanini, we missed that. Spanini spinning back here towards the back of the field. Right as Man in the Box catches up with them, so Spanini may have had a bit of an issue there. Combined going very slowly. Yeah. Oh my goodness, we see Rensler and Combined going to each other. And now Combined is still going. Rensler actually coming out poorly from that. Combined still going, whereas Rensler got spun into the wall there. So Chonk overtaking Rigraff for the lead of this race, but Man in the Box now on these relatively fresh medium tires. 15% tire wear relative to 43 at Chonk. It's just how quickly can he clear these guys, because he will run away the second he gets past these guys. So Rensler into the pits now. A little bit of front wing damage from that collision with the wall. And from that, no, actually doesn't fix his wing. So he pits, puts on fresh mediums, but still has a little bit of wing damage. Nadewell here. No wing damage, and it doesn't look like he's actually driving. Looks like he may have crashed out of the game again. So Combined and Roldy here on a fight for P6. Both of them electing to pit on the safety car earlier this race. Kiwi, the first one of these soft runners to pit. So Kiwi will be putting on mediums to go to the end. Spanini has already pit, so Spanini is well behind Kiwi, though. So a long way to go for Spanini to score any points here. But Man in the Box, Chonk, and Rigraff still battling up here at the front of the race. You can kind of see the different philosophy of racing there between Chonk and Rigraff as they took that wildly different entrances into turn 9. Benefit also for Slick Goku. Well, Slick Goku still has to pit, so forgive what I was about to say, or forget what I was about to say. So Man in the Box getting by Chonk. Chonk actually going into the pits. So he has finally decided to pit. Now it's just Man in the Box and Rigraff. So the Rigraff will be the last one to pit off of his soft tires. On board here again with Kiwi. Kiwi and Chonk racing on exit here. Chonk just in front of Kiwi. But look at that gap to Man in the Box. Currently 18 seconds is the gap between Chonk and Man in the Box. So that's a humongous amount of time to close back up to fight for a win here. So Man in the Box way out in no man's land right now. Could even pit again right now and potentially still be in front of them. So I'd imagine Rigraff will be the next one to pit here. So Roldy and Combined here. Roldy still within the DRS delta of Combined. Combined likely racing for a podium here, and also Roldy, as long as he sticks with Combined, is still in the fight here for a podium. As we have Rigraff pitting now, who will be well behind Roldy here. And then we'll have Slick Goku pitting at some point this race. So Roldy and Combined right now in the battle for P2 and P3. So where does Rigraff... Actually, Rigraff stayed out. He did not pit. So we have yellow flags somewhere. Looks like Jeff is going a little bit slow here through the final couple of corners with some front wing damage. He may decide to pit here to get rid of that. Madewell still not back in the race, having some wheel issues, as we all unfortunately saw. Jeff pitting there. So Roldy and Combined. And Kiwi and Chonk. Roldy with a big snap of oversteer there as he goes through turn 9. So Chonk and Kiwi about 10 seconds up the road from Spanini, who they were fighting with. Spanini was sitting at the front of the race before we missed what happened with him as he fell down the order from the lead of the race. So Chonk closing that gap up to Chub Tucker here. Chub Tucker on these hards just not showing very comfortable pace at the moment. So they will be on his tail. Actually, a really rough exit for Chub Tucker. Or excuse me, Chonk. Maybe Kiwi looking for a move there. A lot of battery for Kiwi. Kiwi's going to go down the inside. They both have DRS because of Chub Tucker in front. Kiwi easily getting in front of Chonk there. You can see that pace difference between these tires right now. Kiwi looking really confident, almost going for a move in the first sector here. And there he goes, Kiwi, or there she goes, excuse me. Chub Tucker going really wide on the exit of turn 3, and Kiwi showing so much more pace right now. Chonk even having to back off a little bit just to not crash into the back of Kiwi as Kiwi is trying to drive safe behind Chub Tucker. And Kiwi going down the inside there. Very dangerous place to overtake, forcing her way around Chub Tucker there. Chub Tucker still hanging on to that. Little wheel bumping there as they go through turn 9. But now Chub Tucker will have DRS, and so will Chonk. More wheel banging with Chub Tucker. Chonk almost looked like getting hooked by Chub Tucker there. And Chub Tucker going around, so Chub Tucker just being swallowed up by these mediums. Looks like he went over that curb. Maybe a little bit of contact caused him to go around. Rigraff finally pitting. So will Rigraff come out relative to Kiwi? Kiwi being held up there by Chub Tucker may keep Rigraff in front of them. Be really close as they come out of the pits here. Excuse me, as Rigraff comes out of the pits. And Rigraff actually coming out of the pits behind them. But Rigraff in the fight with fresher tires. So this is going to be a three-way battle here. But again, they are 10 seconds off of those guys who pit during the safety car. So with the amount of battling they have been showing so far, it's unlikely they're going to catch up with Roldy or Combined. And again, Roldy is still sticking with Combined. So right now, Combined and Roldy are holding on to our final 2 podium positions from a net perspective, as Slick Goku still has yet to pit. And Combined is actually closing that distance to Slick Goku. And man in the box with about a almost an 8-second lead to everyone else. Cruising his way to victory here. Yellow flags is like that might be Jeff off the track again, and Jeff goes into the wall. Doesn't look like he has any wheel damage there. Or excuse me, wing damage, so he's going. So man in the box actually pitting, so man in the box electing to pit to not just drive off into distance, which is a crazy move because, well, not necessarily. Let's see where he comes out. So Kiwi is going to be coming out, looks like right in front of him. So if he gets caught up in this nonsense, Combined and Roldy might run away with the potential for a win here. Yeah, now man in the box coming out behind Chonk and in between Rigraff. So man in the box with a crazy pit here. Why is he pitting? What? Oh, man in the box. What are the Haas strategies, Labib? What are you telling him to do? Now they're at 11 seconds back from Combined and Roldy. So now Roldy is in the battle for the win right now. So like we said, some very questionable decisions from Haas. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to have fun and race people, but at the same time, do you really want to throw away an easy win? So we'll see how this goes. A lot of laps to go. We're about 16 laps from the end, 17 laps from the end. A lot can happen, but also a lot of battling can happen, which can cause Combined and Roldy to just run away with this race win. So we'll see. Kiwi currently leading the pack here. Chonk looks like he's going to maybe make a move on Kiwi into turn 1. Nope, not close enough. But let's see. Combine is easily going to go to the end on these tires. Only 30% with 16 laps to go. He will make it. Roldy, 42%. Let's see. He's about 14 laps in. Yeah, it's going to be... Okay, these tires are going to be terrible by the end, so maybe Man in the Box had the right idea. But I wonder if he should have waited. Oh, there goes Chonk. A little bit of a tap from Kiwi as they race. Excuse me, through turn 7. But Chonk not too far behind, so still in it with this battle. It's going to be rough to figure out how this goes, but one benefit here for Combined is Slit Goku is now between him and Roldy. And with Slit Goku between him and Roldy, he has an opportunity to build a gap and pull away from Roldy. Roldy's actually losing that DRS. Slit Goku kind of a wide corner there, struggling as he goes through turn 1. Man in the Box on those freshest medium tires, getting in front of Kiwi for... I would assume the front of this little battle here. Chonk still behind. Rigraff a little bit behind Kiwi there, but they are still racing here. Spanini has kind of closed that gap up a little bit, but still 9-second gap. Not going to be one he's going to easily be able to close up here. Tires looking good for Spanini though. Excuse me. That gap though still 10.8 seconds. For Man in the Box to Roldy, and Roldy's still in the fight for the win here as he's still in that DRS of Slit Goku. And also Slit Goku, because of his position here with Combined and Roldy, their pace is good enough to tow him along where he can go onto the softs and have some massive pace when we get towards the end of the race here. He may be at that point where he will be looking to pit. So let's see how long Magnus and Cube and company keep him. There he goes, Slit Goku going in. Roldy staying out, almost following him. Must be just trying to get some tow there. So Slit Goku will go on to fresh softs here and will have massive pace as he comes out behind Chonk and in front of Spanini. So Man in the Box going down into turn 1, being overtaken by Kiwi potentially. Side by side into turn 2. Man in the Box backing out. Now Rigraff maybe looking for something. No, Kiwi takes that position. So where does Slit Goku come out? Slit Goku actually coming out behind Spanini, so definitely just a humongous miscalculation from myself there. That is likely just too much time for Slit Goku to overcome to get back in that fight, so it's like a slow pit stop. Or not. Well, that is where Slit Goku is, so he will be really rapid on these soft tires. Roldy has fallen outside the DRS of Combined. Now Kiwi is closing that gap to Roldy, so let's see if they can close out that. With 14 laps to go, definitely appears like they will catch him. Roldy electing to go ahead and pit. So he's going to put on some, I would likely some fresh softs. He will come out likely behind Slit Goku. So a long way for them to go to catch back up with our net leaders here. Combined is just gone. 12 seconds in the lead, only 35% tire wear. Combined is going to easily win this race. Well, let's see. Let's take a look at these pace. Right now, Man in the Box was only 1/10 quicker than Combined. Roldy actually coming out in front of Slit Goku. So Roldy right behind Spanini. So if Roldy here can clear Spanini quickly and show some really nice pace, he might actually be able to catch up with Chonk and company before the end of this race. So let's see what Roldy has in store for us. Chonk making a bit of a mistake there, falling out of the DRS of Rigraff in front. So now it's Man in the Box, Kiwi, and Rigraff for now. Spanini still well behind. But with Roldy right behind him, Roldy's going to go for it as we go into the Audi S. And Spanini's just going to let him go. So now Roldy in clean air. 8.2 seconds to Chonk. Does he have the pace? Man in the box setting the fastest lap. Rigraff getting in front of Kiwi. Man in the back's running away from Rigraff now. Oh, and looks like Slick Goku also getting in front of Spinini. Spinini maybe just letting them go, as he knows that he is not going to be able to stick with them with their fresher tires. Jeff, you failed yourself. So Roldy already closing that gap down to 7.2. So Man in the Box doing an 11.8. So he is showing some really nice pace, actually. So he was about almost 2 seconds quicker than Combined on the previous lap. Combined doing a 13.6. Man in the Box doing an 11.4, or 11.8, excuse me. Roldy, fastest first and second sector. Slick Goku actually has some front wing damage. Wonder if he got that going into the pit lane. So his pace not looking super great right now. Chonk actually, not sure what happened to Chonk, as he fell well off of the running for a podium here. Roldy will set the fastest lap here with an 11.4, so beating Man in the Box's time by 4/10 on that lap with 11 laps to go. A long way for him to go to fight for a podium here, but with these tires and this strategy, has an opportunity. Will we see Roldy's first podium in ever? Has he ever had a podium? I'm not sure. We'll take a look after the race. But right now, two big things here. Roldy pushing for a potential fight for a podium, and Man in the Box pushing for a potential win. As he right now, again, over a second quicker than Combined. And with the amount of laps we have left, if this pace holds, he will catch Combined. So 7.4 now. 7.3, just see, Man in the Box has so much tire. And Combined just pitting, so Combined recognizing he's going to get overtaken, actually pitting here, so electing to go really, really late. Where is he going to come out? So Man in the Box now in a really nice position to just win this race outright. So where does Combined come out? Roldy here, still pushing. Will Roldy come out in front of Combined? It looks like he will by quite a bit. Combined still on the exit of the pit lane here, coming out just in front of Spinini, so huge amount of time for Combined to catch back up to where he was to fight for a podium. So we will see how this goes. Rigraff actually catching back up to Man in the Box, and then losing it again. Rigraff a little bit quicker than Man in the Box on the previous lap, so Rigraff still potentially in the battle here for the win of this race, as his tire wear is just very, very good. He has older tires, but his tire wear is a little bit better, and if he can hold that DRS delta, he will be in the fight with Man in the Box. So back here, Combined getting in front of Slick Goku. Slick Goku having to trudge to the end here with some wing damage. Definitely not ideal. Roldy now only about 6 seconds away for P3. Now under 6 seconds with that delta. And Combined actually only 1.4 behind Roldy, so Combined showing some massive pace right now on his second lap here on these soft tires. So looks like he's actually going to catch Roldy relatively soon. So Roldy and Combined will still be in a battle here. But back up here towards the front, we have Rigraff and Man in the Box. Effectively the same strategy here, but Rigraff showing much better tire wear compared to our race leader right now. Again, 18% for Rigraff. Hop on board with Man in the Box. We'll see 23% on that front left. Back here in P5, though, Combined already catching Roldy. We're at lap 27 of 36. 5 seconds is the gap between Roldy and Kiwi. Now Combined is back in this fight on these super fresh soft tires. Combine setting the fastest lap. Unlikely to be beaten in this race unless somebody else pits. So Roldy still closing that gap to Kiwi, but Combine showing a ton of pace right now. Kiwi did a 13.5 last lap. Roldy did a 12.3. So Roldy is going to catch Kiwi. Either Roldy or Combine are definitely going to catch Kiwi before the end of this race. So Kiwi's going to have to dig deep to find some extra pace to hold on to that final podium position. Chonk here getting past Slick Goku. A couple yellow flags there. Looks like Slick Goku may be letting Chonk and Spinini by there. So back here in a little battle for P4, which may actually end up being P3 before the end of this race. Combine will likely easily blow past Roldy here with the help of that DRS. Roldy going a little defensive here, not wanting to give it up without a fight, forcing Combine to go down the inside. Roldy looked like a little bit of a lockup as he goes through turn 1, and Combine getting that move done. Not a lot of battery, though, but that gap now to Kiwi is 3.3 seconds. They're still lapping well quicker than Kiwi. Combine doing a 12.5 compared to Kiwi's 14.0. And now the job on Roldy is to just stick with Combined, let Combined on these fresher tires tow him back up into the fight for this podium. Does he have the tires? Does he have the pace to stick with him? While this is happening, though, Rigraff just chilling behind Man in the Box. Right now, both of them sitting at... Rigraff sitting at 1 track limit warning, whereas Man in the Box is sitting at 0. So, with a little bit of battery there from Rigraff, will he look to take an overtake on Man in the Box? Does not look like he will be. Both Man in the Box and Rigraff sitting about the same in terms of the battery. A little bit more for Rigraff with the benefit of being behind. You can see that tire wear difference. 30% for Man in the Box to 24 for Rigraff. May not actually be that big of a deal towards the end of this race. It's still close enough, but Rigraff, older tires, but tires are still better, so that will definitely have an impact here. Roldy and Combined closing that gap to Kiwi. Well, Roldy having a rough turn 10 there. He actually falling out of the DRS from Combined, which may actually cost his opportunity to get a podium here. We will see. Does he have it in him to catch back up with Combined? He has a lot of battery that he's not using. As we see that, Rigraff taking the lead of the race for the first time, or excuse me, not the first time tonight, but with only 5 laps to go, it's a very impactful thing to happen. Combined now in the hunt for P3 for his 3rd podium in a row. That is Nadewell. Nadewell's ghosted car in front of them right now. May give Kiwi a little DRS if they don't pass for that DRS detection zone there right before turn 9. So that AI getting out of the way as they lap. Combined looking for a potential move there on Kiwi. Does not. Roldy doing his best to catch back up. Man in the Box and Rigraff. Rigraff going very far inside to kind of try to break up the toe to Man in the Box. Man in the Box too far back to make any kind of move happen going into turn 1. And Combined back here getting an overtake done on Kiwi. Combine just running away with that P3 position right now, but now Roldy has an opportunity to close that gap back up to Kiwi. Potentially use Kiwi as a slingshot to get him back in the fight with Combined here. Well, actually, Man in the Box making a big error towards the front now. Rigraff is up in the lead by over 10 seconds. Lensler electing to pit here as his tires are just 69%, so he has no choice but to get off of them and hope he does not get a puncture before the end of the race. So we may actually see somebody beat that fastest lap, and since he's in P10, he will get a fastest lap point. Now here we go down the pit straight for the 32nd time tonight. Roldy will have DRS and much better tires than Kiwi at this point, so should breeze past her very easily. Will this gap to Combine and close enough for him to get back in the fight for the podium? Goes a little bit deep into turn one, so a bit of pushing here from Roldy. He may be able to get back in the fight. Well, as it stands right now, Rigraff comfortably in the lead after a mistake from Man in the Box, with a 3.6 second gap between him and Combined. Unlikely for Combined to catch him. Roldy still in the hunt here for a podium. Combined showing some really strong pace right now. Chubb Tucker also electing to pit, so Chubb Tucker may be looking for a fastest lap point here. If he can beat the potential attempt here by Rensler. Fastest lap right now is a 10.917. Roldy just outside of that DRS. If Combined, as we have 2.5 laps to go. In the box, actually clawing his way back up towards Rigraff, but again, Rigraff with a bit of a tire advantage here. Both of them just dumping all of their battery right now. Nanobox may actually catch Rigraff before the final lap here. Roldy kind of falling off of the back of Combined here. Combined about 2/10 quicker than Roldy on the last lap, and it looks like to be a little bit more on this lap, as that gap is now 2 seconds between Combined and Roldy. Roldy struggling with an extra tire wear for those 3 extra laps that he has put on his tires. So back up here at the front, this is the battle to watch for the rest of this race. Man in the Box and Rigraff in the fight for the win here. Again, Rigraff only has 1 track limit warning, compared to Rigraff's, or Man in the Box is 0. Man in the Box was about 6/10 quicker than Rigraff on that previous lap. So here we go, boys. A lap and a half to go. Panini getting a 10-second time penalty as he goes into the pit lane. Imagine he just getting, oh yeah, 72% on that front left, so he'll go on the softs as well. With a giant gap between him and Chubb Tucker, he will likely have a lot of space to push for a fastest lap point here. Man in the Box only 1.3, but this is it right here, guys. If he doesn't have DRS in this final attempt, for the final time as we go into our final lap, that sentence made no sense. It's going to be very difficult for him to actually have an opportunity, even if he catches up with him on this last lap. So here we go, final lap, Rigraff in the lead. Man in the Box only 1.1 seconds behind him, now under 1 second. So Man in the Box pushing really hard, about 2/10 quicker than Rigraff on that lap. And he will have DRS here as we go through the DRS detection zones for the final 2 times tonight. Again, Rigraff pushing really hard there, actually pulling the gap up a little bit. The gap still very, very big. No extra track limit warnings for either of them. 7/10 is the gap to the lead for Man in the Box and Rigraff. Ooh, a bit of a snap there for Man in the Box, and Rigraff's going to run away with the lead now. Over a second. Man in the Box still has DRS. A little deep there, so he's actually going to lose some more time, so he won't have DRS for this final attempt. Rigraff going into the final two corners. So Rigraff here is going to win here at Zandvoort with Man in the Box in P2, followed by Combined YouTuber, and then Roldy with the P4, followed by Kiwi in that Red Bull for P5. Slick Goku, heroic drive here with that front wing damage, finishing in P6. Chonk struggling at the end there, falling down to P7, and then Spanini with that fastest lap at the current moment, or actually setting the fastest lap right now. Combined still holds it with a 10.9. Spanini sitting at purple sector 1 and 2, so this should easily blow by Combined. Actually, no, only beats him by about 3/10. So Spanini coming home with that fastest lap point from P8, and then Chubb, Tucker, and Rinsler will finish this off for tonight. Rinsler also had a little bit of front wing damage. And Nadewell finishes us up in P11, at least a lap and a half down from our leaders. Excuse me. After more wheel issues. So that does it again tonight. Driver of the day, Mr. Harold Manalili, dude. Hokage Roldy himself with a big drive. So big points for Aston Martin tonight. Rigraff taking the win. Man in the Box coming in P2, followed by Combined in P3. Get that stupid tire wear thing off of there. Our forecast. An impressive drive from Rigraff and Man in the Box tonight. A couple of times there, I predicted that Man in the Box was going to run away with it and that Combined was going to run away with it, but Rigraff sticking with it, finding some really nice pace in that second stint, catching back up with Man in the Box after Man in the Box had cleared the whole field, taking the race victory. So congratulations to Aston Martin and Rigraff on that W tonight. See if our final classification thing actually works. And it does. Last night it was showing qualifying. Tonight it is showing the correct thing. So let's see what we can get our boys in here for an interview. Man in the Box, wait on Combined here for a second. And there he is. So for the third straight time this season, everyone's favorite Australian Combined YouTuber on the podium there. We saw you on those hard tires, well in the lead. Were you just worried that they weren't going to hold up to the end?
Yeah, and then they were catching me anyway. I think I was going to lose it anyway, so I just thought maybe I'll try something different. And it did work for the podium, but not quite for the win. So yeah, I'll still take it though. I had a mess up in the field with Rinsler. I don't know. He was just touching me a lot.
We did catch that. We got a nice onboard of him going into the wall, so that was very interesting. So combined now, I believe that will put you in a nice position in the championship battle, as you were only 5 points down in P2 to Nadewell, and then Nade also having more wheel issues, so he fell down to P11. So I believe this should actually slingshot you into P1, I believe, in the championship.
Yeah, I think I'm the championship leader.
So with Zandvoort done, we have, I believe, Austria after a week break for the American Labor Day holiday. Have you done any Austria in this game?
Ooh, Austria. That's a track I'm usually okay at. So hopefully I can do well there. I mean, clearly the win is coming, but just need to get the strategies correct and stuff.
All right. Well, hey, we look forward to seeing you back on the grid here in a couple of weeks, and we look forward to seeing what kind of show you put on for us. So thanks, Combined, and congratulations on the podium.
Yep, thank you.
All right, and then in second place, the man himself, almost there for his second race win this season, Mr. Man in the Box. How do you feel after that very eventful race?
Frank, yeah, super eventful, super weird strategy wise. I think all the soft runners just had no idea what to do, including me and Labib. But I have a good engineer, and we did the medium. I think it was the best strategy. I think I just bottled it with 3 laps to go. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I was hanging out right behind Rigraph, and then I don't know which turn it is, but one of the high speeds, right hand. I just caught the grass and turned the car sideways. Like 3 laps to go, and then push my brains out trying to get back in the DRS.
Yeah,
Rigraph had some insane pace, dude.
yeah,
Oh
Rigraph
man.
showing out tonight. You also really impressive from you to kind of you had. It seemed like overall you just had the best pace potentially on the entire grid, or excuse me, on the entire grid. As you pit for those, you're the first one of those soft runners to decide to, or excuse me, of those medium runners to decide to pit again. And then you just kind of cut through the field.
Me and Nade, I was working with Nade for a bit before I think he disconnected. But yeah, we knew we were gonna two-stop the mediums after we switched out the softs. But yeah, the pace was alright. But I think Raygraph, I don't know if you guys caught it, but he one stopped and he stayed on the old softs and he was keeping up with me on brand new mediums, and like that's where he won the race. Like his pace was crazy. I don't think the win was there today, but yeah, GG's Raygraph combined almost snuck in there too.
So we have a week off next week for the American Labor Day holiday, and then afterwards we have Austria. Have you done any Austria on this game?
Yeah, I've ran Austria a couple times. I'm alright at it. It's a fun one. Lots of DRS, and I think it's turn 3. Turn 3 is always crazy. So looking forward to it. But yeah, man, it's a good race.
All right, dude. Well, congrats on that P2, man. We look forward to seeing what you have in store for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Frank, and thanks for the broadcast. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, see you, bud. And then the dude himself, Mr. Rigraph, dude, on the top of the podium for the first time in as long as I can remember.
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe it, man. I cannot believe it. I think I only had like 2 podiums in D3, and definitely the last race win was D4, which was like 2 years ago or something. So it feels so cool, man. It feels so good.
Man, one thing we kind of noticed throughout the entire race, even before everyone had started making their strategy just calls, was when you guys were about a 6-man train in that first stint on those softs. You had the best tire wear of everyone by quite a bit. I think you finished with about 11% better tire wear than Man in the Box on that front left tire. At the end with 1 lap extra. So you just, whatever, I don't know if it was your driving or setup, but you guys found something that worked for you both today, because Roldy also with that P-Force, you guys scored mega points.
Shout out Roldy. Yes. Huge points.
So Rigraph, take us through to the end there. I think we kind of saw Man in the Box make a bit of an error, and you were able to pull away from him by about 2.5 seconds. Then he started coming back at you. What were you kind of thinking those last laps?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to decide what I was going to do to pass him, and I could tell the whole race that I had pace. So I really wanted to just pass him early and then just try to drive off out of DRS. So that's what I did. And then, yeah, him making the mistake definitely helped me stay ahead because, yeah, I think if he didn't make it, it would have been a back and forth between us, and then combined might have even caught us at that point. So, yeah, it seemed like everything aligned for me today, and it feels great.
Well, again, congrats on that win. We have a week off for the Labor Day holiday. So when we come back, we'll be at Austria. I know I can remember me and you having that super boring race at Austria in last year's game where we just overtook each other like 100 times. Have you done any Austria on this game?
Honestly, I do not think I have on this game. So, but I'm excited. Short track. So short tracks are always tight fields. So they're fun.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations on that W, dude. Look forward to
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right, y'all. That'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Rigrav taking the W. Nadewell still plagued by technical issues, unfortunately. So he will be falling out of the championship lead. Combined should be popping up into our championship lead now, but Man in the Box and Rigrav are still in the hunt. And maybe with Roldy showing some really nice pace the last couple of races, even in D1, maybe we're on the cusp of a Roldy podium, not a W. So catch us in a couple of weeks, y'all. We have next week off for Labor Day.